Hey everyone, Silver and I just watched the 5 trailers for the Ghost in the Shell movie, and even though they were pretty short, there are some little indications there about what the movie's going to be like. So, what did you think about the first trailer being that like robotic geisha person?
I mean, to me, it was somewhat reminiscent of, I think, the first episode from the show, and like we talked about kind of before we recorded this, I'm not sure whether they're using the movie, the manga, the anime, all of them, virtually none of them as references for the movie.
Yeah, to me personally, looking at the 5 trailers together, the tone of it seems to be kind of, to me, more of the show than the more kind of artistic, abstract kind of tone that the movies had.
I don't know. I actually thought maybe it was going more for the tone of the movies, where it's kind of weird and somewhat trippy, because the show is more of it's not a police procedural, but it's kind of like a thriller mixed with a bit of a police procedural, and with the philosophical stuff in it. The movies were kind of trippy and strange, and this seems to be moving in a little bit more of a trippy strange with some of the framing, but regarding to the first trailer...
Yeah, with her and the girl, it does kind of linger in a way where it is trippy.
Yeah, and also kind of the different shots. But going back to the first trailer, the weird robot geisha thing I think is odd, because there weren't weird, creepy robot geishas in the show or the movies. Maybe they were in the manga somewhere, that they looked like women. They were supposed to be kind of pretty. They didn't look like creepy.
There were creepy geishas, though, in one of the episodes where they're like around one of the political figures and they go in and assassinate
they
them.
go crazy because they're hacked. This thing just looked creepy. Yeah. Like no one would pay money to go hang out with that creepy fucking geisha. Like, the geisha robots just look like women who were dressed up like geishas. You know, they didn't look, but they didn't look weird. So that was odd, but eye-catching, I suppose, but just kind of strange.
Yeah, the first clip I was like, okay, that's creepy, like, and somewhat kind of, pretty with the color palette and everything. But then the second one was the more typical kind of like long shot of her unplugging herself. And that was more kind of Ghost in the Shell to me in a way, like the shot, but...
I don't know. One of the things that I liked about the show was that they would show things like that, the juxtaposition of, like, it's the future, things are really different, people are jacked into the internet, people are cyborgs, but they would still show that life was mundane. People lived in these small apartments, they had all these basic things they did, just kind of activities of daily living sort of things. But with this, it felt like they were trying to play up how strange the future is.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it does have the trippiness to it.
Yeah, which I don't really like that much, and it also is much less impactful, because we've seen that done a lot. People hooked up to machines and it's strange. Well, The Matrix already came out, and so did Inception. So I think visually, things like that are much less impactful, because we've seen it done before. When Ghost in the Shell was originally being written, that was very new. It was way before that. I mean, The Matrix was partially inspired by Ghost in the Shell. So, that was new before, but now that Hollywood has taken ideas from anime and all this other stuff, it's less impactful. So playing that up, I'm not sure what I think of that. And then, like, the gangster guy who seems to be executing someone, I thought was just odd, because he's not terribly interesting looking. He could be from anything. He
could. He really could, yeah.
So I thought that was an odd choice for the trailer.
With his hairstyle, he looked more like mutant to me than like...
I don't know if... I'm wondering, was that supposed to be Aramaki or something? Like, I was thinking he was a gangster.
Yeah,
but his hair reminded me a little bit of Aramaki's hair. But Aramaki never kills anybody.
No, I don't think that's him at all.
No, I don't think it's him either, but I just was like, why is his hair so weird?
Obviously, I think like the most... to me, the most interesting one was her with that other woman and how she's like kind of caressing her face. And at first I thought, before the other woman spoke, I thought, oh, is this actually showing kind of scenes we've seen in the show where she's with her girlfriends or something like
bi.
They're about to have maybe an intimate moment or something, and it would play well, for the movie to have that kind of like sexual thing. Yeah. But then how the girl reacts is very like, what are you? Like she hasn't
which is
met
weird.
Her before.
So, she says, what are you? So I'm really hoping that this isn't a world where it's strange for people to be cyborgs. Because Motoko was one of the first people to be a full cyborg, but they're showing her as an adult, at which point this would not be that odd.
Right.
So I'm hoping that maybe it's a misdirection. She means like, what are you? in the sense of maybe she's just asking her if she's like a cop or something, you know, not metaphorically, not like she's literally wondering what she is as an entity. Or it could be that that's an interaction when she's diving the net and like that's a virtual reality thing, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it could. The thing I do like about it is that woman does look pretty unique. I like her freckles. Yeah. I think she was really cute. So it was an interesting thing. And then that final shot of Motoko walking into this room of people that are connected to this central pillar of wires. I mean, it's got some elements I recognize of the show, but I'm not really sure. It's some elements, but I'm not really sure what I think about it, really.
To me, what I took away from this was it really looks like they're targeting a general audience, which I think is smart, because even though anime and manga are becoming more mainstream and popular, it's still a very small percentage of people. So they've put a bunch of money into this, and they want it to do well. I don't know if it'll be any good, but I think it's smart that they're just trying to kind of show this to people and be like, oh, this is this weird thing. And they have the weird triangle thing, which I don't remember triangles being very prevalent in the series. I'm assuming it's like an Illuminati thing.
Yeah, I was gonna
they're
say,
trying
it's very
to be like, oh,
Illuminati. Like, and it does have that
mysterious
thing at the end. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I'm not really sure, how this is going to go. But I'm not as, in the beginning, I wasn't really sure about Scarlett Johansson being cast as her, but it makes the most sense in terms of
she's a big name.
Marketability.
They think she's marketable. I'm not sure she's super marketable. She's been in movies that have done well, but I don't know if that was because, do people really go like, man, Scarlett Johansson's in this movie, I really want to see her. I know people think she's really attractive, but is she a box office draw? They seem to think so, but I don't know. I thought I thought it was weird that they chose to play up trippiness and just sort of strange imagery for the trailer. I would have maybe done that for a few of them. I would have had at least one or two of them be some action. And maybe the next series of trailers that get released will be action oriented, but I would play up that in one of them. Having the gangster guy execute somebody or shoot something on the ground, I would have had that be maybe something with robots or shooting or fighting, and maybe they're waiting on that.
Action oriented, yeah.
Or a really cool cityscape. Or maybe them running along the rooftops.
Known for are those cityscape scenes. If they do in the movie the classic shot of her falling backwards with the cityscape, and she's like,
or just jumping from rooftop to rooftop, or something.
That is what I love about the show, is how you get to see all that. And that was the one thing that did kind of concern me, is all these different trailers. There's not a lot of other colors going on. They really kind of focus centrally on that middle shot of what you're looking at, and there's nothing else going on color-wise in the background. It's all very black, gray. Even that guy executing whoever that was,
or maybe just shooting something. I don't know.
Well, there's none of those bright lights that the cityscapes.
There isn't neon or bright lights or
And I just want to add too. Now, I never expected Yoko Kanno's music to be in this at all.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that it needs to have... I'm really hoping that the soundtrack is good and energetic, because it was very rhythmic and very energetic, and it was fantastic. And obviously she's not scoring this, but I hope whoever does, that it's interesting and memorable music, and that it's not just safe and boring.
That's the thing I worry about, is I am less concerned about Scarlett Johansson. I think she would be fine if the writing is good for her, and whatever the story is, it's coherent, it makes sense. I definitely don't think whatever this plot is going to be nearly complex like in the show, because
they don't have enough time.
Most of the show, they don't have enough time, and because it's for a general audience, like we've seen, a general audience I don't think is going to enjoy something that's really complicated when they're watching a movie.
Honestly, I think rather than a movie, like an HBO or a Netflix series would have been so much better.
Yeah,
like doing a live action, giving it like 13 episodes, a big budget. They could just do the show with people, which I'm not a huge fan of that idea, but I think it would have been better for the audience. Probably not better for making money, or I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the next trailers. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
It didn't look terrible. I just don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah, I feel similarly. Like, it didn't... I'm not like, oh god, this is a disaster. But I'm I'm lukewarm to it.
Yeah, I remember looking up some of the other actors, like the people who are going to play Bato and so forth, and at the time I was very like, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure how I feel. So I think we'll still just have to wait and see what else they put out. Okay, so that wraps up our discussion on the trailers, and in case you were wondering, the game in the background is Ghost 1.0, a Ghost in the Shell inspired Metroidvania game. So like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you want more movie and anime reactions, and let us know in the comments below, what did you think of the trailers, and how did they make you feel about the movie? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to be terrible? Or are you hoping they just don't fuck it up? Please let us know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.